Hey now everyone, it's Steve Sievers for Bionic Buzz. We're here at the world famous San Diego Comic-Con. It feels so good to be back. Now before we get started, we appreciate your support. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and follow us on all social media. Now let's go see who we can talk to. So can we talk about the origins of putting this together? Because I know it's a big journey. It's not going to be an overnight thing. Documentary.
The origins of the documentary? Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it all started when my husband decided that he wanted to make a documentary about his favorite movie, and that was very simply what was going to happen. But then it just started to become intertwined with his own experience, and his own experience obviously involved his, at that moment, girlfriend, later on his wife, so I had no choice but to be in his documentary, which was kind of what happened to him. He was not supposed to be in the documentary, and then the documentary became about him and chasing Amy.
Oh, wow. Very cool. And how long did you work on it?
4.5 years. Wow. Yes, yes.
And what do you hope people to take away from the documentary? I mean, that's a big chunk of your life.
Yes, very much so. I would love for people to, look at me and Sav's journey and realize that, I mean, obviously the very repeated message that love comes in all forms and sizes, and there is no right way or wrong way to love, and that you owe nobody no kind of explanation about your identity or anything like that, which in a way is also one of the messages of Chasing Amy, which is also like part of the journey that Sav and I have had.
What was the first Kevin Smith movie you saw?
It was Chasing Amy, I think so.
That was the first movie I saw in the theater. I saw it opening night.
Yeah.
I was just me and two other people in the theater, but I loved it.
I'm trying to remember if there's another one that I saw, but
I saw Mallrats when I was in high school, and then someone told me, oh, there's Clerks before that, and then,
Yeah, I like Dogma the most. Dogma and Chasing Amy are fantastic. I also really like Tusk.
Yeah, and the thing about Dogma, if you really watch it, it's actually a good religious message, which I understand when there were so many protests when it came out.
Yes, and I grew up in Mexico City, and I grew up Catholic, and then I watched the movie, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, too.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Awesome. What was it like working with Kevin?
It was, well, we didn't exactly, work with him, but he is so great. He was so supportive, exactly, and so sweet, and just, so hyped up about it from the beginning. I mean, it was just, surreal also that he was just so willing to, just support us from the beginning, and the way he took Sav and was so willing to welcome him into his home and guide him to all the Chasing Amy journey, and he was the willingness to be interviewed and to be there, and we're gonna have him today. So it was, and I've only met him once, and he was so perfectly lovely. So huge fan, obviously.
Yeah, me too. Well, keep up the amazing work, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you so much.
I love Chasing Amy. When I saw it opening night in the theater in Annapolis Mall, it was only me, my girlfriend at the time, and two other people. But I loved it, and so did you. And obviously, let's talk about the movie first and how it snowballed into this documentary.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I saw Chasing Amy when I was 12 years old in my home living room when I in suburban Kansas, and my mom just happened to have the Criterion DVD of Chasing Amy, and I was a huge Ben Affleck fan. I saw his face on the cover, and I was like, I have to watch this. My mom looks at it, and she's like, I don't remember why it's rated R. Lets me watch it. I'm like, oh, I know why it's rated R. And we just, and from there, I just would continuously kind of obsessively rewatch it, and from there I found so much meaning in it, not just, because I thought it was funny or I loved the romanticism, but also because there were queer characters that I felt were fully embodied and that I really responded to, the Alyssa character, and also I identified with Holden, and so there were a lot of reasons that Chasing Amy became the movie for me, and from there I just fell in love with it, and I kept rewatching it until I was an adult, and I learned that not everybody feels this way who is queer about Chasing Amy, and I thought that was a really interesting conflict. And so when it came time to make my first feature, I wanted to tell a story that only I could tell. And so I wanted to explore that conflict, and then as time went on, I had to be in it because people were really drawn to the emotional aspect of my story. And so from there, you know, I gave a TED Talk about what the movie meant to me. It got Kevin's attention, and then he agreed to be in it the day of. And
wow, is that okay?
Yeah, and then from there, the kind of the events of the documentary are set in motion.
Very cool. What was it like getting supported by Kevin Smith? I mean, I've interviewed a couple times. Never gets old, man. The guy is just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's so kind and generous with his time, and you know, he didn't have to talk to me. He didn't have to be in the movie. He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's been so supportive, and you know, has said publicly how much he digs the movie, and he's moderating this panel at Comic-Con today. I mean, that's incredibly meaningful.
And lastly, what do you want people to take away from your documentary?
Oh gosh, well, I hope that people can find a pathway into chasing Amy, whether they're queer, whether they love a queer person, whether they love movies, they've never felt like an underdog. I think that there's something in this movie for everybody, and I just hope they dig it.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it, my friend. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Appreciate your time.
No problem.